So 91 topic is exploit your weakness. Make a list of your strength and your weakness on the separate piece of paper. Make a list of strengths and your weaknesses on the separate piece of paper. Place the list of strength somewhere where you will see it again because it will always pick you up. Because it will always pick you up. Now look at your list of weaknesses and study them for a while. Stay with them until you feel no shame or guilt about them. Allow them to become interesting characteristics instead of negative traits. Ask yourself how each characteristic could be useful to you. That's not what we usually ask about our weaknesses, but that's my whole point. When I was a boy, I remember watching a remarkable tap dancer by the name of Peg Leg Bates on the E.D. Sullivan show. On the E.D. Sullivan show. When I was a boy, I remember watching an remarkable tap dancer by the name of Peg Leg Bates on the E.D. Sullivan show. Bates had lost his leg early in life, and a circumstance that would lead most people to give up any dreams of becoming a professional dancer. That circumstance that would lead most people to give up any dreams of becoming professional dancer. But to Bates, losing a leg was not a weakness for long. He made his strength. He made it his strength. He put tape at the bottom of his peg leg and developed an amazing psychopathed tap dancing style. He put a tape at the bottom of his leg, of his peg leg, and developed an amazing psychopathed tap dancing style. Obviously, he stood apart from other dancers in the audience, and it wasn't long before his weakness became his strength. It wasn't long before his weakness becomes his strength. Master fundraiser Michael Bezos has dazzled the development world by turning unappreciated staff members into a great fundraiser. Master fundraiser Michael Bezos has dazzled the development world by turning unappreciated staff members into the great fundraiser. He too likes people's weakness because he knows that they can be turned into the strength. If there is a shy secretary in the development office he is working with, he turns that person into the no he turns that person into the staff's best listener. Soon donors can't wait to talk to that person because she listens so well and makes people feel so important. So soon donors can't wait to talk with that person because she listens so well and make person feel so important. When Arnold Schwarzenegger became a professional actor, he had a weakness: his thick Austrian accent. It wasn't long, however, before Arnold incorporated his accent into the charm of his action hero personality on the screen. When Arnold Schwarzenegger became an professional actor, he had a weakness: his thick Austrian accent. It wasn't long, however, before Arnold incorporated his accent into the charm of his action hero personality on the screen, and the former weakness became a strength. His accent became an identifying part of the character, and people everywhere began to imitating it. One of my weakness early in my life was my difficulty to talking to people. One of my weakness early in life was my difficulty in talking to the people. I had no confidence in my ability to speak and converse. I had no confidence in my ability to speak and converse. So I got in a habit of writing people letters and notes. So I got in the habit of writing people's letters and notes. After a while, I got practiced with it, that I turned it into the strength. My letters, writing, and thank you notes have created many relationships for me that would not have been created if I would just focused on my shyness as a weakness. One of my weaknesses early in life was my difficulty in talking to the people. I had no confidence in my ability to speak and converse. So I got into the habit of writing people letters and notes. So I got in the habits of writing people letters and notes. After a while, I got so practiced with it. After a while, I got so practiced with it that I turned it into my strength. My letter writing and thank you notes have created many relationships for me that would not have been created if I had just focused on my shyness as a weakness. I have four children, but I didn't begin having children until I was 35-year old. I didn't begin having children until I was 35-year old. For a long time I saw myself as being older than normal to be a father. For a long time I saw myself as a being older than normal to be a father. I worried about it. I worried about it. I wondered if my son or daughters would be uncomfortable with a father so old. And then I realized that this didn't have to be a weakness. I thought about who I was when I was 25 and what difficult time I would have had being a good father back then. Soon I took this weakness to be a great strength. Soon I took this weakness to be a great strength. Then one day, while watching The Little Mermaid with my kids, then one day, while watching The Little Mermaid with my kids, I saw myself as a father in that movie. Vigorous, strong, and wise, with flowing white hair. Vigorous. Then one day, while watching a little mermaid with my kids, I saw myself as a father in that movie. Vigorous, strong, and wise, with flowing white hair. It has a perfect image. It was a perfect image. I now see my age as a major strength in raising my kids. The only weakness was in the way I was looking at it. The only weakness was in the way I was looking at it. There isn't anything on your weakness list that can't be strength for you if you think about it long enough. There isn't anything on your weakness list that can't be a strength for you if you think about it long enough. The problem is our weaknesses embrace us, but the embracement is not a real thinking. Once we really start thinking about our weaknesses, they can become a strength and the creative possibilities emerge.